Hello, Bill Claudia here. This is a Rivals of Ixalan draft, and we're starting with one of the best cards in the set, Ravenous Chupacabra. And another really exciting card, the Merfolk Mistbinder. And past that, even the rare and last uncommon are good. Sprinter, this is just super aggressive. They used to have a card that was a 2/2 haste flyer for 3. It was in Boros. And this is just better than that. I guess it can't block, but, well, it can't block flyers, but it just is completely unblockable with haste. Really good. But the Chupacabra kills it, so can't beat the mighty Chupacabra. Ceratops is a bit of a build around. You can definitely get there, usually in a 3-color deck, or I guess green has some fight effects. And even white has a slash of talons, so if you pump the toughness somehow. And the Mistbinder's probably in the best deck. If you get a good version of the Merfolk deck, it's still maybe the best deck. Wow. So Huatli, and they don't bother to let the art show up, but here it is if you enlarge. Huatli Radiant Champion. Sweet Planeswalker. I haven't had the chance to play with or against it yet, but yeah, I mean, it must be good. It's just going to gain a lot of life over a game, and Crested Herdcaller too, which might even be better. Oh, you can't pass a Huatli though. Just be like black-white splashing the green. Yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable taking an off-color card and going into 3 or even 4 colors because the fixing is so good in the format. The Crested Herdcaller is probably better than Huatli, but Huatli is easier to cast out of a black deck because we could be black-green or black-white. Whereas the Herdcaller, we have to be black-green, and I'm not going to give up on this first pick so easily. So yeah, we'll take Huatli here. A foil Blood Sun. Not too bad. Also, probably not the pick for us. What are we interested in here, though? Maybe we do take it. My goodness. Because this pack is bad. It's got Dusk Charger, it's got Forerunner of the Coalition, and it's got Recover. Yeah, I'm just gonna take Blood Sun. Oh gosh. Maybe it'll be good. Who knows? It certainly lets the tap lands come in untapped. Deadeye Righauler. We could also just give up on these 2 picks and do something cool with the Chupacabra. And one thing cool to do with it is just play it a bunch of times. So Deadeye Righauler is also good just to bounce your opponent's stuff, but if you start bouncing your own Chupacabra, things get out of hand quickly. Hunt the Weak's another option, but not as good as the synergy we can get here. Sorry, Blood Sun and Huatli. The rare draft is ended. Admiral's Order, I like this card. In general, I also like Dusk Legion Zealot quite a bit. It's like a Silver Gill Adept that's always turned on. The order makes a lot of sense, especially if you're attacking with like the Chupacabra and they have some trick. You save it and you still have mana left over for the hauler. But it'll be the Zealot. And I think this Vampire looks good. It makes the Zealots a lot better because they just get in for 2 damage. They draw you a card, get in for a couple damage, and then chump after that. Is the usual progression if you have a few Vampires in your deck. If not for that, we could take the Migration. Yeah, I like the Vampire well enough here. Ooh, Arch of Arauska. That's late and gives us some good late game. So I'm happy to pick that up. Yeah, just so hard to play against if your opponent stabilizes and they have this. So we want to be that opponent. What now? Aggressive Urge, Sun Sentinel. If we're in black-white, we want to tend towards vampires, not this nonsense. Just not a very good pack. I could see taking the Freebooter, and I could see taking Sentinel, and there's some argument to be made for Aggressive Urge too. Yeah, of all these colors, I guess green would be the easiest to get into. Not much going on here. But green could be that color we get into, in which case the Armasaur is not too bad. Soul of the Rapids. If we're back in blue, I guess the Deadeye Rig Hauler is just the best if we get back into blue. And a Recover comes back. Recover is good on all of our cards right now. A cheap play, Recover the Zealot, play it again. Recover Chupacabra is insane. And everything else at least has an Enter the Battlefield effect. So I'll take that over Dusk Charger here. And what do you know? We have a Soul of the Rapids Wheeling. And another one. I'm kind of excited to open a Mark of the Vampire now, because while the Soul of the Rapids aren't too exciting on their own, they do attack for 3. They are really hard to beat if you get that Mark of the Vampire and make it a 5/4 lifelink flyer. Path of Metal. I love how the art appears on these, I guess, after you pick it. Waterknot, Sailor of Means, Kitesail Courser. These are all options. I mean, Waterknot does what we want. It lets us survive. It locks down any threat pretty early. It's heavy blue, but so is the rest of this stuff. So I'll go for the Waterknot here. It's our first good piece of removal. Then maybe we can pick up these Paths of Metal. I guess I'll say something about it. I was looking for any of the keywords. It doesn't count Menace. It's pretty specific. First Strike, Double Strike, Vigilance, and Haste. 3 of those make sense, like fast people or whatever. The First Strike, Double Strike, and Haste kind of gives a sense of speed to the creature. But then Vigilance? Well, that one doesn't really fit. But there are some random creatures which can have haste at times, like the Horncrest. Anyway, it's not going to be in our deck. The Martyr of Dusk, let's see. Might work, but I think we're solidly on blue now. Negate is decent. I'm going to go with Evolving Wilds here. I've always been happy with the fixing it provides, even in a 2-color deck. Squire's Devotion. That is so perfect on the Soul of the Rapids. Now, we're not in white, really, but with our Evolving Wilds, it really does help us splash this, and it's not something you need early. It's something you need on turn 6 or something after you play your Soul. It's just too powerful to beat once you have it going. Sadistic Sky Marcher. Well, that gives us a bit of lifelink flying early and doesn't require a 3rd color. I wouldn't mind wheeling another Soul of the Rapids, but you need a couple ways to give lifelink before you're happy with 3 in your deck, I think. But yeah, I'm always happy with a Sky Marcher in the deck. Impale, happy with that. Definitely happy with the light version of the Chupacabra. Same cost and everything, but this also has a creature on it. Yeah. Another Sky Marcher. And a Slippery Scoundrel. We don't have that many vampires. I guess the Sky Marchers make themselves better. And we have a couple other vampires that make them better. I'll take the Sky Marcher. It's a little more consistent than the Scoundrel. And we can take more things like the Voracious Vampire, which will make it better. No, 2-drops. Who needs them? We don't need 2-drops in this deck. If you reveal 2 vampires, it should make it 2 cheaper. So it could be a 2-drop, 2/2 lifelink flyer. You probably think I'm kicking myself for not being just solid white, black vampires. But I'm not, because these Soul of the Rapids are going to be so good. You'll see. You'll see how good they are. It doesn't mean we can't pick a white card here. Like, I'll take Pride, I think. Is it possible we end up black and just pure white? If so, we might want this Aspirant. Yeah, it's more likely. Even though pumping a hexproof dude is not the end of the world. Metal. Revenant, Dusk Charger, Negate. Some decent little options here. I'm not worried about getting enough 4-drops. We have our flyers anyway. The Charger's kind of appealing because it's just a big blocker on the ground. But I'm really not worried about the 4-drop slot. I'll take Negate here. Make sure people aren't messing with our well-laid plans. Canal Monitor. I love this guy, though. He doesn't have to be a good card to be in our deck. Recover is fine. So our soul is back. Now we're really looking for Mark of the Vampire. The only thing I would take over it is Vraska, but I'll just pick that card over anything no matter what. So no surprise there. Come on, Vraska. So the first bullseye is Vraska, the second would be Mark of the Vampire. Did we get there? No. That's okay. People can pass Mark of the Vampire. They might not be able to pass Vraska, but that's alright. Shoot, what do we pick here? I was worried we'd open something like Vona or some kind of giant vampire otherwise, and we'd just have to go abandon blue. What does this pack really have? I guess it has Desperate Castaways, which helps us block. It's the only thing. It's really the only thing in general that we can hope to be doing here. Prying Blade. You can always put that on a Sky Marcher. That's pretty good. We need some way to survive, though. Siren's Ruse doesn't do it. I mean, it's good with the haulers. It's kind of cute. Protect some of your things. Not a great pack for us. Just no real good options. I mean, Siren Lookout, Sailor of Means, these are all fine. The best card, I guess, is the Siren Lookout for us. No Mark of the Vampire here either. But Vanquish the Weak is very good. I think it should help us catch up in games that we're a little behind. Deadeye Plunder is a big upgrade to Canal Monitor. And Rowdy Crew is a fun one to see, but certainly not going to make it into this deck. One mark. We've got a few more chances here. It's common. It is a common. Skullduggery. Where's the... So we didn't take the 2-drop when we saw it. It was probably a mistake, because we need some 2-drops. But Skullduggery, I guess, could help us come back from behind. Favorable Winds. Now that... It's no Mark of the Vampire, but it does make a lot of sense in this deck. If you look at all of our souls and our Sky Marchers, Siren's Lookout, even if it's just a 2-2 pump, like if we have 2 flyers out over the course of the game, that's well worth the mana. And I'll take it here. Pick up a few more flyers if we can. Oh, Dark Nourishment is fine. At this point, we just have to take a 2-drop, though. Direfleet Hoarder is in. Come on, Mark. Come on. Literally, come on. Axis, I mean, we could just take a Mythic and rare draft again. Are we back to rare drafting? I'll take my 25 cents, thank you very much. Because our deck's nearly complete. It just... we could always put back in Canal Monitor, play our second Recover, put in a Negate. All of that is fine. No Mark. Maybe we have one more chance? No, I think we're done. That was our last chance, but we get another flyer and early creature. So can't be too sad about it. Even Prime Blade is a little appealing. Opt. We'll certainly make it in. And we'll splash this one of Squire's Devotion. See how good that is. Off our treasures, we could maybe play Huatli. If you pump a creature XX and it has lifelink, that's pretty good. Let's see, what did I put in here that I should not have in here? 25, we need a couple cuts past this. We'll just take some random stuff here. I do actually like most of this. Maybe we cut one soul since we only have one way to equip it. Pillar? Pillar name elemental? No. Cobbled Wings. Yeah, that's great actually, with favorable winds. Just make whatever we need to into a flyer for the winds. And it's an artifact. It works really well with the Deadeye Plunderers. Alright, so this was kind of a throwaway draft, just rare drafting half the time. Most of this white we won't need. So we got our foil Blood Sun, which is worth more in real life than online. But and a Huatli, why not? But the deck we ended up with has potential. It wouldn't be your ideal deck you're trying to 3-0 with. So that'll just be some upside if we get close. I love the Devotion. All these cards are good. We can't cut any flyers. We just need all of our flyers. Well, I guess that's a reason to put back in Soul, isn't it? And then we can cut things like Prying Blade. All that really does is help out with yeah, casting Squire's Devotion. Then our removal has to stay in there. It's pretty much a gimmick deck, so Cobbled Wings, favorable wins. That combo has to stick around. So we could cut one Recover, being on the slow side. We've got these Rig Haulers after all. And yeah, this doesn't look terrible. We could get away with 16 lands. Maybe that's pushing it. Yeah, I think we have to play 17 with the Arch. 17, and that means cutting something. Cut the Opt. What to cut? Might have to be the Opt or the Skullduggery. I like cutting Opt here. Well, I don't like cutting it, but I will cut Opt and put in basically Arch of Orazca over it. Most of our early stuff is black anyway. If we were favoring blue early, the Opt gets better. But if we're using Opt to find our blue, it's maybe not as good. So 13-9-1. We'll just have to play one planes and hope our treasures can get there. Do we even have treasures? Plunderers works, I guess. And then cut one black, 7 black to start with Evolving Wilds for 13. And we have a lot of double blue. So it's like 8-8-2. Maybe we cut one more blue to get in our early Blight Keepers and Hoarders, which provides treasure as well. Yes, this looks like a deck. It has all the features of a deck. It's 40 cards. It has 17 lands. We can cast our spells. If that's not a deck, I don't know what is. Round 1 versus the Cobra. Yep, this is a hand. It's got everything a hand needs. Cards, 7 cards, lands. Definitely a hand. What are they up to? Red. Up to no good is what they're up to. Perfect lands. Still need another blue. And we can't just run out our devotion. We really should save the devotion for one of these souls. Because otherwise, what are we really doing? It's too easy just to die here and then we lose the late game because of some, I don't know, some race. The souls don't race very well on their own. They need help. It should say return up to one target creature, draw a card. Then we just run it out there. Okay, Mr. Raptor. Ooh, that's exciting. That is really exciting. I mean, we just win now, right? They can never beat a 4/3 lifelink flyer. Not in these colors. They'd need the Phoenix. I guess that would beat it. No wonder that thing's mythic rare. Because they would trade with it once, and then their Phoenix would come back, and our thing would not come back. Okay, here we go. Ha, I can't plummet this guy. We should have played our foil one. Yeah, maybe not. Because it's not a foil enchantment. The missing land drops over there. Cherished Hatchling, yeah, that just does nothing. Sorry, it won't even fight our soul. True Power. Hey, at least it worked once this draft. Check that off our list. Wonder if that prompts a concession. No, they're gonna fight it out here. Like, at this point, even charging Monster Sword doesn't race it. Because we're netting 8 a turn. And we can just follow it up and add another 3 points to the clock. So they're dead in 2 turns here. We hit again to 14, then hit down to 0. Forerunner. So if they play 3 dinosaurs in a turn, that's pretty good. That would kill our soul. I'm assuming they're just going to play 1 dinosaur. So that deals with our hoarder and our vampire. So we might as well run out our soul. Just to get the clock on them. Esper Souls. It is a real thing. We should have attacked with the vampire. Whatever. Maybe not. It just gains us 1 life. And this way they have to play their Cacophodon first combat to... pre-combat to kill their hatchling. So it probably comes out in a wash. They could also just concede here before doing anything. Because it's 2 dinosaurs or nothing. Now each time they play a dinosaur, they get to untap a land. But that might not be enough to dig them out of this. Because what 1... Oh, Knight of the Stampede. I was going to say, well, yeah, what 1 cost dinosaur is there? Wait, I can't count at all. I thought we were gonna kill him, but we're not. That's okay. They still need to do 3 dinosaurs next turn. So they can do a 2-mana Cacophodon, untap a land. Then they can do like a 5-mana dinosaur and untap a land. And that gets close. That gets real close. In any case, I'm not going to play out this Sky Marcher. I just cannot add. Like, we get them to 10, so 10 minus 7 is 0. Right? Oh well, we're at a high life total. And if they do 3 damage to everything, it does also kill the Forerunner, so they can't use that trick again. So here's Cacophodon. Goodbye, little creatures. So we get our little treasure. And they are targeting their mountain, so they have another red dinosaur. Maybe a double red dinosaur. But they need 2 more dinosaurs. It can't just be 1 dinosaur. It's a work in progress figuring out this turn. They say, shoot, I should have untapped the forest. They didn't give away any information, though. We already knew about Cacophodon. Negate doesn't help us. Opt wouldn't have helped us. We need more toughness, if anything. Put in the Armosaur just to benefit from their triggers. Game 2, a similarly risky hand here, where if the top 5 cards of our deck are non-lands, we're in bad shape. Of course we'll draw planes off the top. No. Wishful thinking. Island would be good. These are just about all of our double blue cards in the deck. So if we never get Island, that's gonna hurt. Yeah, there we go. Just on time. We get to do the combo play here of a cheap Sky Marcher into pumping the Sky Marcher. And then we cross our fingers to hope they just don't kill the Sky Marcher immediately. You know what they have in their deck? They have a Tetzimoc, the dinosaur. I just have a feeling for how they ended up in a Jund deck like this, and Tetzimoc would be a good reason. What are they wondering about? Dead Man's Chest? Yeah, you don't want that. Cool. So Sky Marcher in play. I hope we get to hit with it. And now they know about the vampire. Well, I'm not blocking that. No, thank you. Jungle Creeper. Acceptable. I'm going to hold up a dive down or sea legs. And then block the Dinosaur Hunter with our vampire here, just to get something good going. The new thing that deals with 3 power or less exiles, that'd be a good answer to the Jungle Creeper. But yeah, our hand's just full of removal. So that is perfect against this. And Waterknot deals with the Jungle Creeper especially nicely. So we go to 12, we're taking net 4 a turn. Oh no! Bombard this thing. Well, now we definitely need to spend our mana. But the best way to do that would be to use Impale, but then we might not find a target for Vanquish the Weak. So, gosh. Let's do Vanquish the Weak now. And then we can't do 2 removal spells next turn. But they can't pump it in response. It's just gone for good. So we go to 7, then it's Waterknot. And then if they find big monster X, we can kill it with Impale. Big monster X. Here it is, just as promised. Big monster X. Big monster slow, more like it. Just kill that. Because the soul doesn't do much against it, and I don't want to be at 3 life. No 6/6 trample, please. Alright, are they out of stuff? That is good news. Get our foil one out this time. If we had 1 Mark of the Vampire in the deck, I'm so bummed about not getting it. It's not the greediest thing I've asked for in my life, to get 1 common from a small, or the 1 of set. Journey to Eternity there. Did they have a way to sacrifice it? That's not good news for us if they do. Probably another Bombard-like card. More than likely, they just don't want to have to use the mana later. It is more important for us to get pressure on the board than draw a card here, even though we have the City's Blessing. Next turn, drawing perfectly would mean white mana and the enchantment to equip this up. So we could potentially draw both. Kind of. That kind of works. Now we're dead to drawing both. So I'm just going to fetch first before drawing. Maybe we get something good. Ooh, that's good. He puts us down to 6, but better 6 than 0, as I always say. I'm just going to chump with the poor Zealot anyway. It's not going to do much else. Are they going to impale their own creeper? Here it is. Mastermind's Acquisition. So that could find their library, or it could find their Bombard to kill creeper. And it'll be the only card in their hand, so charging Monster Sword doesn't do it. We don't get to see what it is. Okay, so it's a Fire Cannon Blast to get their dude back. Oops. I'm not sure that wins it for them. In fact, if that's the best they got, the Zealot is going to be better for us next turn to just block more. Now they can get back the Horncrest, which won't have haste. Dinosaur Hunter, Deadman's, or Tishana's Wayfinder. Still, they're not in great shape. One, two, three, four, 5. We can still do everything here, but if we draw the right card, it'll be much better for us. We can still play out the swamp. Yeah, so Blight Keeper. If they draw a dinosaur, we're in bad shape. We're really close to killing them this turn. But the best play here is just to attack with 1 thing so that Blight Keeper can kill them next turn. They'd have to draw something really powerful to win this turn. Like, let's see, a 2-1 haste doesn't do it. We can always block 3 things. And they would have 4 attackers, because the 2-1 haste would allow them to get back the Horncrest, also haste. Then they still have to hit us with 2 creatures. Yeah, it just doesn't work out for them here. Daggertooth, I guess that's not the worst card in the world. And a haste creature, yep. It all checks out. Nothing has trample, so all we need to do here is survive. This way we go to 1. So yeah, I guess that's it. We win. Favorable wins. Yeah, you know what? That's another good way to win. F6, attack for 5. I mean 6. I can count. Look, you don't have to count. You don't have to be able to count to win. The program just has to be able to count. Round 2. Versus a mulligan. I'll keep this. It's got a pretty nice start, and our opponent's has even a worse start here. Let's see if we get our Raging Goblin on turn 1. Nope. They miss out on that. All we need to do is draw any land. We should be golden. Oh, they've got a Raging Dino. Come on, any land. So far, so good, though. Especially if we get black, we'll be in good shape here. It's going to be the quickest game against a Mold of 5 ever against these cards. Alright, yes, we got there. So the Lookout will either trade with the little dude or the big dude. No, I guess since it's a 2-3, it'll definitely trade with the big dude. And that was the perfect thing to find off the top, too, the swamp here. They've got their own swamp. And they don't want to give a creature away for free. Not too surprising. But Mold of 5 against a player on the draw who's drawn extra cards, even. Waterknot. Waterknot is going to bail us out if we meet a much bigger creature. Oh, we should have played Sadistic Skymarcher then. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Alright, well, that's what we're doing. Direfleet Captain. Well, I'm not going to mess up this time. We're going to play Skymarcher. Hopefully they don't top deck the big burn spell. Good. So we're in the clear. It's so good. It's too bad we're having such a good draw against kind of a worse draw. Skullduggery, I guess we get in 4 here. I don't know. We're in a pretty commanding position. Let's just drive it home and start getting some lifelink in. So they can get a little more damage on the backswing. But this plays around any kind of sure strike or combat trick they could have. And it stops them from pumping the captain. Just another tick there. At some point you just have to think, how can you lose? If they just draw perfectly, can you play around it? Swashbuckling. Right, so now they have a big Voltron creature, and we can use Water Knot to 2-for-1 them. Bam. Or Squire's Devotion on our Soul of the Rapids. Seems good as well. Yeah. Give away all our tricks here, so we've got white mana. I still don't want to just F6 here, because they might point a 3 damage spell at our guy and we'll blow them out once again. Cool. Can't beat the favorable vampire. We'll try that again. We can't really assume that they're going to draw that terribly. They didn't draw too terribly considering they mulled to 5, but it could definitely be much harder if they don't just have such card disadvantage at the very start. Huatli. Chilling out here. Huatli and Foil Blood Sun. These are like the extra trophies. If I go 3-0 in this draft, and also I rare drafted, that is an exquisite draft. A terrible hand again, but we're on the draw. We'll figure something out. Ooh, that makes it so much better. I'm just going to start getting blue. It means we won't find white for a while. But we only have 1 white card in the whole deck anyway. Get that blue. But we do want an untapped land this next turn, so I don't want to hold off on the island. Ooh, nice combo here. Taking some hits early, but Blightkeeper on its own isn't too scary. And we'll have an early Sky Marcher, and then any blue we draw is good, any black we draw is good. Tormentor, oh no. Oh no, can't discard the land. Probably just get rid of the Soul of the Rapids. It's going to take too long for it to be relevant. And we need everything else. There's a case maybe for the Rig Hauler. Don't kill our thing. No, just a straight impalation to the heart. Not what I wanted. Then we'll take another 5 here. That's scary. I'm just going to recover the Sky Marcher and hope to draw black. Or just another one. So if we do get the black, then next turn becomes Sky Marcher with Skullduggery backup. Are we dead here? Not dead, but that is not good news. That's 9. We probably were passing to this player. Yeah, we needed black to get the Skullduggery, and even then we might not win. They already know about the vampire. Right, what do we do? We kill this thing, we block this thing, we gain 3, we take 4, 5. We don't even win that. It's close. Smart, clever. I guess we win if this is their attack and we had Skullduggery up in our defense. I'm glad we put that extra black in because that is so important early. Opt, negate. Yeah, I was not expecting the big pirate push there. Be on the play to avoid that kind of rush if we can. And this is a good hand. We'll have to fetch for black. But it's got all the cheap stuff. Cobbled Wings doesn't do much here, but it might eventually. Ooh. How do we play this? I guess we just go Blightkeeper, hold up Skullduggery. So they play red, they play a Menace dude. Or that, which we can't really interact with. We can race it though, for now. Waterknot is the kind of card, it's a bad answer to their Dire Fleet Neckbreaker, because its bonus just stays on all the other pirates. Deadeye Tormentor. What do we get rid of? Maybe Cobbled Wings. Sad but true. Sad but true. Just get the vampire out. Too bad this isn't a vampire bat. But the plan here is keep up the curve. And then trade off with something while we can. Come on. Land, please. Any land will do. In some ways, we don't want to return their Tormentor. Swashbuckler. Not too close to the blessing yet for them. I would love this Cobbled Wings still. It's just an equipment. Gives +1/+1 in flying, basically, if the creature doesn't have flying. Bounce that, because we really don't want to bounce the Tormentor. They take some time to redevelop here. Yeah, let's trade off. Yeah, I don't want to be taking this damage. And their pirates just get so much better in the late game. And it takes away a little bit of permanent stuff, so they won't have the city's blessing quite as soon. 8, and they could get up to 10. Yeah, get rid of that keeper. Get rid of it. Lightning strike our dude. I guess that's fine in the end. It doesn't counter the Skullduggery, which is nice, but it does save them 3 damage. There we go. 4/3 hexproof flyer for the low cost of 5 mana. No, double strike. Still think we take this. And now we can start impaling and water knotting and whatever. Impale this, get our hit of 4 in there. Hope they don't have that haste dino. Oh no, if they have the haste dino, we're dead. So that would suck. I guess if they get the haste dino next turn, we're still dead because we're using Water Knot on the Frenzied Raptor. And now we're just dead to this stupid Blightkeeper. So as it turns out, we don't have to die here, but we have to hold back our Soul of the Rapids on defense. Great. Yeah, they'll be happy to trade. They'll be happy to make this trade. Skullduggery, I guess, could have bailed us out there. Ooh, interesting. We go down to 3, but they've already used their lightning strike. I assume they only have 1. We've used up all our 1 black cards, right? And we don't have any 1 blue cards. So I'll just do this. And there's our 1 white card. Yeah, just play it. Because they could have another Tormentor, and we don't want to lose our white. Don't kill our stuff. Good. If we get this lifelink hidden, that makes things a lot less scary for us. 5. I'll keep this in the hand now. The only thing that really punishes us is the enchantment that has us discard upon raid. I think they attack with, I mean, obviously they attack with the freebooter here. I'm not sure if they attack with the scoundrel. I'll just take the hit. So we don't have to take the scoundrel hit next turn. Oh, that's so good. Okay. Look out. Can we get something good? Well, now they know we have an island. I'll save both back to block. If it was a lethal attack, it makes sense to go in with the Zealot too. But it's just not, because poor Cobbled Wings is in the graveyard. That was such a good hit off of the Tormentor. Did we get there? Nice. You might even say we cobbled together a victory. Round 3 versus Elias, down to 6 cards. That's how we're winning. We're winning because our opponents are drawing poorly. But I'll take it. Now this, I mean, you can see the power of this deck at some times. Uh-oh. I don't know if I'm comfortable with what's going on here. Red-green Merfolk? Just red-green aggro. More like it. They are hitting their curve. They're not hitting their land drops, so there's one upside there. We want to keep hitting our land drops, though, so we'll go for the Lookout and put a double black card into our graveyard. Not a hard decision there. The alternative, I guess, was to Water Knot something, but we had, well, it was nice to get a little greedy there. So we could block the Keeper and then keep going. And especially nice hitting an Impale, getting rid of that. Here, although the Keeper might get to come in, we'll have the Rig Hauler to block the Stalker, which I'll definitely do. It seems like we're on the back foot against a person on the draw. Or sorry, on the play, the mulligan down to 6. So trading off resources is pretty good for us. Now what? Now I guess we Water Knot the Frenzied Raptor and hold back the Lookout to block. That should discourage them from attacking, at least for now. This turn they'll come in just with the Daggertooth, which we'll trade off. And they're coming in with both, so they must have a trick here, but we'll do the block that makes them use the trick, at least. Hoarder, that's the one I'd want to trade off now, and we'll just attack with the Soul. I don't want to trade that off, and if we draw our lifelink spell, we'll really want it. Well, that's not good. Now we need to block here. We take 6, and we'll have Ravenous Chupacabra to kill that thing. Oh, and we do draw the Devotion off the top. We can do it all. We can just do it all. Easy game. Hey, you can't have draws like this unless you put the cards in your deck. And these cards are definitely in our deck. Yeah, Literally can't lose anymore. The Phoenix would still be really bad. Charging Monstrosaur, okay, we can definitely lose. What the heck? Why do I play against this card so often? Yeah. So we'll attack back for 5 lifelink. Make it 6. Won't have enough mana left over. I cannot do this. Alright, so we give our little vampire some menace. And then we attack for 6. And that leaves us back at Chupacabra. And we don't have enough mana to pump this up all the way. 7, then we'll have 8. Yeah, I like this attack. Probably better just to leave the Chupacabra back. 5, 6, 7, 8. What if they have another thing? Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to lose. So we'll sacrifice our poor Blightkeeper. Tendershoot Dryad. A little too late for that. I hope. Maybe not. Maybe that'll win it for them here. Oh no. Oh no. Their deck is absurd. I've decided. Oh god. Well, the Zealot blocks 2 damage. They won't get this thing. We'll be at 9. We can't really attack. I think we have to do this first, and maybe if we get a land, we can draw an extra thing. Yes! It's so good. And if we used the Arch to draw a card, we wouldn't have had the mana for it. That's absurd. And they know we top-decked it. Dirty top-decker. Alright. All the best cards in our deck, and it just barely won because they have Monstrosaur, Tendershoot Dryad, which we don't have an answer to. And another one to watch out for here is Sure Strike, because Sure Strike on a Monstrosaur is not remotely beatable. Where's our Hornswoggle to counter these things? Okay, well, once again, the plan is to draw perfectly and for our opponent to mulligan, because I don't know how else we're going to beat this deck. Good enough. Yeah, this is really good enough. It does get our Zealot into vampire thing. Come on, put the Tendershoot Dryad on the bottom. All right, we have all our best cards again. Soul Winds Devotion. Ooh, I like this. I think I like this. Because next turn it's Sky Marcher, revealing the vampire. We really don't need Arch of Orazca out there yet. Still, I don't know if we're gaining life quick enough. They just have Charging Monstrosaur in their hand. That's a tough clock to go up against. We're already at 12. No! Yeah. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Probably Ascend next turn. Attacking doesn't make any sense here. Have to do this. Tendershoot Dryads. Well, that's been a fun game. It's been good. Card's not beatable. And they didn't put it on the bottom with Commune. It was beatable last game because they never got to attack with it. But it just makes a... It's a Planeswalker. It's Garruk. It just makes a beast every turn. And we just don't have a way of killing it. We can bounce it. And I lied. We have 2 ways of killing it. 3 ways. 3 ways of killing it. Back on the play, though. Okay, we will play first. And this end... No! Did I mulligan? Oh, I misclicked it. Alright, this hand's even better. Right? Sure. It just slipped. I don't know what to tell you. This hand is looking up, though, if we can find a soul. A happy mistake. Alright. Alright. Not bad. Not bad. Hoarder, let's put that in the graveyard because we're looking for blue as soon as we can, and we can even recover it if we're desperate. It's only honorable for us to mulligan when our opponent mulliganed. I will recover this. Oh, come on. Yeah, let's just attack here. We need blue. Next turn we can do our little one with the wind trick. Favorable winds, that is. Dire Fleet. And I'll put the pressure on here. There's a lot of things that can go poorly for us, Monstrosaur being one of them. So we will just go here and block 4 damage with our Zealot Vampire. Makes that a bit worse, but now that this guy's out of the way, I really want to kill this Stampeding Horncrest. 12. They'll get in like 12 damage here if they have Charging Monstrosaur. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if we draw land, we can do Impale and Squire's Devotion. Or can we? Wait, 4. No, we don't quite get that either. Yeah, we just have to do it. But then, do we attack or do we hold back the Lookout? Let's hold it back. That gives us a good block on the Death Spitter. And if they use First Strike to win combat, then they don't get the Enrage trigger. So let's make the obvious block and get blown out by the obvious trick. Naturalize! No. They might have chosen the wrong thing to naturalize. We can only hope. We can only hope. Alright, so now we have a lifelink dude. Let's say that becomes double strike, so it's 6 damage total. Well, we also just have the chump blocking vampire. So we just have to attack here. Okay, good. Good. Skullduggery backup. I did have Naturalize in the back of my mind. Oh no. We cannot stop that. I cannot stop it. And we should not use Skullduggery here, because we should be okay this next turn to just impale this, gain some life. Gain 4. And we're actually better off, let's say they get the city's council or whatever it is next turn. we're better to use Skullduggery defensively. Nice. Yeah, the lifelink flyers are just ridiculous. They probably have another bombard or removal spell in their hand. They just don't want to use it. All right, Soul. They can get the city's blessing here. And we don't care. Yeah, they say even if we don't block, they're dead because we attack back. Unless they had some big +3 spell. But then we can use Skullduggery to only take 8 or something. So, nice. Wasn't expecting to go all the way with that deck, but you can see the power of those souls when you have the right enchantments. And, you know, God help the opponent if we have a Mark of the Vampire in our deck too.